you will find the Greek loan word drakon in the Apocryphon of John, translated as, quote, in the form of a lion-faced serpent. Literally in Greek, the word drakon translates to, quote, serpent, dragon, or giant sea monster, unquote. The root of the Greek word means to see and suggests that the literal meaning of drakon was, quote, the one with a deadly glance, unquote. This connects with reports of alien abductees who, during their abduction, relate that aliens will draw close to them, staring them directly in the eyes, which results in the human feeling inexplicably exaggerated emotional reactions that span everything from intense fear to euphoria. In his second book, The Threat, David Jacobs, an historian at Temple University, writes, quote, the mental procedures were even more baffling. Aliens almost always stared into an abductee's eyes at a distance of a few inches or less and seemed thereby to elicit love, fear, or anger. Some of these mind scan procedures could provoke intense sexual arousal in both men and women. By staring into people's eyes, the beings could cause them to see prearranged scenarios and movies in their minds, unquote. In the past, any monstrous sea creature was referred to as Cetus. According to mythology, Perseus slew Cetus to save Andromeda from being sacrificed to it. The term cetacean for whale derives from Cetus. This image of black whale directly reminds me of Yaqui Indian sorcerer Don Juan Matus from Sonora, Mexico's description of the black shadows or the flyers. Carlos Castaneda called them fat black fish, enormous fish. Pertinent to this conference, the name of the constellation Cetus also derives from this word. Cetus was placed in the stars as a reminder of Perseus's bravery, but also to warn people against anger and jealousy. In the Ophite and Sethian systems, which have many affinities with the teachings of Valentinus, the making of the world is ascribed to a company of 7 archons. They are commonly depicted as theriomorphic. In the hypostasis of the archons, also known as the reality of the rulers, we come across another Greek loan word, hule, that Bentley Layton translates as, quote, a product in matter, like an aborted fetus, unquote. The text goes on to say that, quote, it assumed a plastic form, molded out of shadow, unquote. Words like lion-faced serpent, molded out of shadow, and aborted fetus were probably the best terminology that the Gnostics had at their disposal to describe never-before-seen extraterrestrial beings.